Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about autistic burnout. I was in autistic burnout for about 2 years and it was extremely hard for me to get out of that. So these are the signs that you're about to be burnt out. Number 1, you are extremely exhausted all the time. You're not doing anything and you're still exhausted. You might lay in bed all day, but you are still exhausted. When I was going through autistic burnout, I spent a lot of time in bed. I did everything in bed. I barely got out of bed. It was extremely hard for me to even just navigate my day and even start my day. I was always tired. It didn't matter what I did. I was always tired. Because I spent a lot of time in bed because of how exhausted I am, a lot of people thought that I was just depressed. And it was more than depression. I didn't know how to describe it. I wasn't depressed. I wasn't sad. I was just so exhausted all the time. I couldn't get my work done. I couldn't get out of bed. It was hard for me to just live my life as an adult. Number 2, to autistic burnout, sensory overload. Your sensory experience could be at an all-time high, causing you to go into autistic meltdown, being easily irritated or upset about little things and frustrated about day-to-day tasks. Your sensitivity to the sensory experiences are at an all-time high during autistic burnout. And this can make it extremely hard for you to even start or navigate your day. For example, with me, if there is a sound that is repetitive and it is bothering me, this would cause me to go into an autistic meltdown a lot easier because I'm already burnt out. So during burnout, my autistic sensory experience is at an all-time high. I get easily frustrated and it's easier for me to go into an autistic meltdown. When I was going through autistic burnout for about 2 years, everything irritated me. It was hard for me to even answer people's text messages, answer people's calls. Just the vibration of my phone would annoy me. If I could hear something like a tapping would annoy me. Smells were at an all-time high. I didn't want people to touch me. I didn't really want to interact with people. And this leads me to my third point. When you go through autistic burnout, you tend to isolate yourself and mask a lot more. When I was going through my autistic burnout for about 2 years, I isolated myself from everyone. It was hard for me to keep up with my friends. It was hard for me to answer text messages. It was hard for me to even answer phone calls. I isolated myself because I was just so exhausted from social interactions. Social interactions already make me relatively tired, but going through autistic burnout and having to deal with social interactions made me turn inwards. I basically turned into a little hermit. I isolated myself from everyone. So when I would be in social interactions, I noticed myself masking a lot more, masking what was actually going on in my life and masking how I actually felt. When I would explain this to people that I was exhausted all the time, they wouldn't necessarily understand it. They thought maybe I was sad or I was depressed, but it was more than that. So self-isolation can be a sign of autistic burnout, and also masking more in social interaction can also be a sign that you are going through burnout right now. Burnout can be an extremely difficult thing to get out of. It took me 2 years to get out of it. And at first, I didn't notice that I was even burnt out. By catching some of these things before you get into burnout can really help you navigate this experience a little bit easier. And it's helpful to catch some of these things before it fully happens, because getting out of it is a lot harder. So rest when you need to rest. Take the time for yourself. Make sure that you are regulating your nervous system. Try to do things that don't frustrate you nearly as much. I will make a full in-depth video on how to get out of autistic burnout, but these are some of the things to look out for before you are burnt out. If you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe and like. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll catch you guys next time.